everybody. My name is Cassandra Hurley. I'm your host for tonight. This is Talk To Me. Now, tonight, we are doing a crossover episode with the real and uncomfortable. We have Taz and we have Eman here.
Yes,
we're about to have a great debate. But also, did you want one?
No. See, I can't even indulge in that right now. I fall asleep.
You fall asleep.
No, these are strong. These are strong. If you like THC, these are strong. Like, I remember, was it last year?
Yeah, during the
polymath
party. Yeah, bro.
Yo, I took a little canned raspberry. I was lit the whole night. I felt like I was on the cloud floating through the whole party. Like,
you had one, just one.
I had one.
Are you sure it was one?
Bro, it was one.
Bro, there's no way. The way that you kept running up to everybody, like, yo,
the reason why, because it was a clean high. That's what I'm saying. It was the raspberry. Yeah, it was a clean high because. The last time I felt that way was when I smoked in Oregon. Like the weed, it's almost like medicine in a sense. I don't know because
I'm the weed witch. I constantly smoke and have a whole session surrounding it.
I've had weed in New York where you feel paranoid.
Oh, I get that. Okay, I feel that. I feel that.
This was like I'm chilling.
Yeah. A nice little body high, a little calm. Yeah,
it's a vibe.
Okay, that's saying something too.
Oh, you about to try? Oh, we lit.
Oh my
God. I got you. That's different. You're supposed to drink it, not wear it. Come on, what are you doing?
Thank God I bought a change of outfit. No, that's crazy, bro. That would happen to me. That's crazy.
Oh,
I'm fucking done. All right.
Yeah. We need that in slow motion.
Angela, that's the whole thing. Thank you.
Oh, man.
This is what the fuck my life is.
The kid say you're not gonna talk trash about me. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
That's crazy as fuck.
Where did G-Lo say he had these?
It smells
that was a setup.
Oh my God, yo, you missed the whole thing.
We gonna need that in slow motion.
Literally. Just make sure nobody shakes these drinks before you drink them.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because it just exploded on me, but it's
Legally
fine.
highest THC seltzer.
Yes.
Also use the code POLY20 for 20% off your entire order.
That's it.
So he said they were really good, other than the explosion. That's it.
No, watch. You're gonna be lit. You're gonna be lit.
Yeah.
But in a good way though.
I got my high glasses on, so it's
yeah, you might need those by the end of the podcast.
Oh, I promise you I do. I'd be looking like fucking Chinese. I'm not trying to sound racist or anything, but no dead ass.
Eyes gonna be low.
Oh. My gosh. So, well, this was our first time meeting, which I love it. Love the energy, love the vibes.
Yes.
A couple of things that me and him are talking about, too. I just want to kind of pick your brain a little bit here.
For sure.
So, have you ever read the book Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man by Steve Harvey?
I've skimmed through it. Because I remember, I think it was my sister that bought it and just left it in the house. She didn't, you know what I mean? So I see, I'm like, yo, what is this doing here? I skipped.
It kind of took things by storm too.
I watched the movie
with
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I love Kevin Hart.
Good movie.
I think I see where he's coming from, but I don't think he's being very realistic.
Well, I think the funniest thing about it is even in the movie, if you want to say that they're even loosely attached,
they're connected.
A lot of what he says ends up contradicted by the actors in play, right?
In the movie.
So you had. Shorty, I know I was
Megan Good in the
90-day rule, right? Then you had Taraji and like how she not settling for whoever it was. And then,
Michael Early?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
he's
then,
fine.
And then there was the other one who's like not supposed to date mama's boys or whatever.
Yes.
All of those things ended up being completely contradicted. Like, maybe not completely, but there was aspects of them that was like, nah, you can't put these as hard and fast rules because each of the guys were exceptions.
Yeah.
But I will say, I do the life coaching and everything too. That is one of the first books that I recommend to all my ladies. The first time I read the book, I'm not going to lie, I was pissed the fuck off. I was like, fuck him. I don't even like him anymore. And he's like one of my biggest inspirators. I was like, nah, fuck that shit. And then I went back in it and I was like, you know what? He actually made a few good points. Like for me, I'm a mother. There's one. And Steve Harvey believes in the book that you should present your child a little sooner than later. But other people will debate. Would you rather meet them later on? But my thing is, too, I feel like people should be very transparent and real, like how we were talking about before, too.
It's true.
Wouldn't you want to know, yes or no, going into dating a woman,
if they
would you want her to flat out just be like, listen, I got a kid, and da-da-da-da, or would you take a few dates, get invested, and then later on you find out, like, I don't think I'm ready to play that role anymore?
I do think that that's important. I think that it's a good way to... Yes, introduce the idea that you have kids.
There we go. The idea
that you have kids.
Yeah,
the idea, but not the full
not the actual kid.
No. I mean, like, don't introduce them to the kid. Tell them that you have kids,
right?
So then you can allow them to make that decision. Because now he has to make a conscious decision if he's going to pursue it, knowing what is on the other side of that.
Right.
Like, you can't go in and just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be with her, but the kid has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I think that's like...
That'd be lying.
Yeah, and also you wouldn't be setting yourself up. If you're a good dude, if you consider yourself a good dude, I don't think that you can be with the woman who has a child, like, seriously, because I know y'all gonna be like, oh, what if I'm just talking to her? If you can't be with her seriously, if she has a kid and you not be in the kid's life in some way, shape, or form, especially if you're a father and she has a son. If you're a man and she has a son, you're gonna have to at some point cross paths with that and play influence somehow.
For sure.
It's a little, I don't know, like you said, it's contradicting, but I personally have a 15-year-old. And I've had boyfriends or whatever that I've introduced, but I also, I feel like I would wait. I would, like you said, definitely tell them, but like a part of me is like, oh, well, because what if my kid doesn't fuck with him like that? And that's one of the things that Steve Harvey was saying. And then, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful with that shit.
I'm not even looking at that perspective. I'm looking at, I gotta vet you before I bring you around my kid.
Right.
Yeah.
So I gotta vet you and let's hang out. Let me get to know who you are. Let me see you around other people. Let me see, you know what I mean? And then I could bring you. But if you gotta show them pictures of your kid and let them talk about your kid, cool. All of that is fine. But introducing the kid, that you gotta wait.
Also,
because kids get attached too, and you don't want them to keep
exactly.
And then they're knotted at the end of the day.
Yeah, now they're disappointed and they take a loss too.
Yeah,
that's not fair to them.
It's hard. It's really caught in the middle. But I mean, he states a lot of good things about having standards, requirements, and expectations. Let's talk about that real quick. Like we said before, a lot of women, they hold, and this is something I teach my clients, making sure you have
expectations,
standards, requirements, and expectations. But is it really realistic, or is it because you can't handle it?
Well, all right. So I think we briefly touched on this, and I know we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. Okay, he's smiling. He's ready for it.
So like, I'm gonna start here, right? Online dating. This everybody does the online dating thing nowadays, apps. Most women are only swiping right to certain things, right? Certain people. They think they broke it down to less than 10% of the men on the app. It's like, yes, single digits. So that means that the rest of the men on the app are getting no play. That's fine, whatever. But that means that if we're talking a scale of 1 to 10, women who are like 5s, 4s, sorry.
But we're just
hypotheticals.
Are you talking about looks of 4 or like?
I will say looks because you lead with looks, right? That's all you really see on the app anyway is looks. So she's an average looking girl. You may get access to the guy who you might feel like is whatever, a 10 or whatever, but he's not taking it as seriously as she is. However, her standards are going to be impacted by whatever she experiences
in the past, because now you have, what you want and you know what you don't want.
You got a new benchmark, right? So it's like in business, right? You get somebody to pay for your services at X amount. Do you charge less than that amount ever again? You at least try not to, right? If you start off selling like Eman, you're selling hours at the studio for, I don't know, we're going to start really low. $10 an hour, right? Cool, you're just getting started. Somebody comes through, offers you 40. They're happy with 40. They consistently pay you 40. You realize that, okay, I can do this for that much. Do you charge the 10 anymore?
No.
Nah, you avoid it, right? So that lady who now has had experiences with whoever she's experienced with, this is when you get the flights, you get the fancy restaurants, you get the dudes who are upper echelons, right? All of those things. she now feels like that's it. That's the standard. That's the standard now. So it's not so much that she can't get it. She feels like that's normal. That's her new average. When it's not necessarily her new average. That was what she was treated to that one time. And most of those ladies will complain about things like ghosting, especially after sex. Ghosting after sex.
That's what I'm saying. How do you know it's just a smash and dash? Or like a lot of women around my age were trying to date and shit like that too.
You're not gonna like my answer.
I'm pretty sure you won't.
You're not gonna like my answer.
Okay, but break it down for some of these women who are actually trying to fucking date for marriage. Yeah. Not just date it to hit it and quit it, but also let's talk about ghosting. Why do y'all men ghost? Like, why can't you be transparent?
Why do y'all ghost?
Who,
men ghost because most of the time they don't want it. It's an avoidant thing, but it's also because you don't want to deal with that outbound interview. Most women can't receive rejection. They don't take rejection well. So like they might spaz out on you if you're like, you know what, this isn't working out well. They'd be like, well, fuck you. That's what you guys avoid? Think about it. When you talk to all of your homegirls, how many of them can actually say that they ended things on good terms with the guy? Most of the time, that guy's a villain in their story, right?
Low. Yeah, number's very low.
Right, that number's low. And most of the time, it's really just that the guy didn't do something that she expected him to do.
But also, the bare minimum for men is in hell. Like, the bar is in fucking hell these days.
What you mean by that?
I mean, like, okay, so like my ex, for example, flowers. Flowers, you have a wife, right? Like, do you get her flowers?
I do.
Okay, then. That's beautiful. But a lot of people, like my ex, he was like, oh, I don't like flowers because it reminds me of a funeral. All right, so I have to wait till I'm fucking dead to get flowers? Or just like simple dates, or just like quality time, or just like, simple things that a lot of us women are begging to try to get this little bare minimum. And that's why people have those standards, expectations, and requirements to weed some of that shit out.
I don't think that that's not reasonable. I think that that's all very reasonable, right? That's fair. I think that what happens is just like how guys be like in women's DMs and shit, or like maybe you take a girl out and you feel like she's just using you for dates. Guys shoot out of their league sometimes. Women also shoot out of their league sometimes. It's just that when women shoot out of their league, those guys are sometimes still willing to hit. And in order to hit, that also means they're willing to take you on a date. They may be willing to entertain you for a little bit. They may be willing to do a lot of things that you would perceive as
courting.
Yes, courting.
For the punani?
Yeah. Well, but also keep in mind that this is because women have put like a hard and fast like playbook of what it looks like to court them.
But that's what I'm saying. How do women know that it's not just to hit it and quit it?
Okay, that was what we were getting to, right? You know, you never probably heard of him, Kevin Samuels. You know Kevin Samuels.
He was like a dating coach or something.
Yeah, he was a dating coach, and like he gets a bad rap for only like criticizing women, but he really used to bring people down to earth, right? If you were he humbled them. So if you're a guy saying that you deserve a Tyra Banks supermodel build type of woman who's going to, cook for you, clean for you, and do all these other things, but you work at, I don't know,
Walmart.
You work at Walmart. You don't have a car. You don't have a place. You don't have any of these things. That you don't even have your own life together. You have no plan to do so. He'd make you understand that might be out of your league. That's out of your tax bracket. Now, again, for women too, you got to understand where you're at. And unfortunately, I think we're in a place where people have unrealistic expectations, not just for themselves or what they deserve, but I guess maybe it is that. Fuck. Well, guys are never gonna. I don't think many guys turn it down. When you have a level of sexual discipline, maybe, but for the most part, people
even
who
trying
lead
to have
with
guy friends or something like that.
People
I don't
lead
even
with
really
the looks.
believe in that.
You don't believe in that?
Yeah. I think they might just be waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you with your girl, she's not like I've personally been in relationships where if I'm dating somebody, I can't have my guy friends anymore. Like they're gone because insecurity.
Access.
So I think
access. All right.
Facts, access. The way that I see it is, you can have male acquaintances, but the male friendship,
most of the time,
it has to change. Yeah, 100% they're trying to.
I mean, think about it.
It has
right?
to change.
Love languages, right? One of the biggest love languages is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
You giving that to your male friends, right? The access. I always say men always view access and exclusivity as the two top things that we want in our women. Mm-hmm. I don't want other dudes to always be able to reach you.
Because you guys need to feel important too. Like
Absolutely.
When your girl has a problem, the first person she runs to is her man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want...
Or her dad.
Or her dad.
Oh, yeah.
Or her dad. Right.
She got daddy issues, but yeah.
That's true. I just don't think that women understand that a lot of guys were interested in you in the first place because of how you looked, right? Then they might have played the slow game. They weren't the guy who could immediately shoot their shot. Or they did shoot their shot, and most women know this, that a lot of their guy friends shot their shot at one point.
And they got friend zone.
And then they got friend zone.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't pretend that the interest wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not to say that they aren't a dependable person for you. It's not to say that you can't call on them. But that's also kind of part of the problem, right?
Yeah, but then men get mad when you do friend zone them, and then
well, yeah, because
that's a whole thing in itself.
All right, so do you think that when women friend zone men, they don't still think that they have access to the benefits?
I mean, I was talking about that before. I feel like with men, the stigma, especially black men in itself, y'all suppress so many things. And I was telling him earlier, at one point in my life, I thought y'all didn't have feelings at all, like men in general. I thought never. But
society.
Once I had more guy friends and they would come with me and talk to me or cry or whatever, then I realized, oh shit, you guys are just like us, just in a different body. Well, to some extent. But yeah, I'm sure that would hurt y'all's feelings when you guys get friend zoned too.
Well, I think it's just like...
I don't even think that we take it personal, though.
No.
I think we
Y'all
just
don't take that shit personal because I've...
Some dudes definitely do. I think you sent me the video of the dude. Yeah. He was on a date. He was on a date, and the
Do you
girl...
have the video? I could see it.
Damn, bro. Where did you send it?
I don't
know where you sent it.
It's got to be an IG chat.
But basically, he's on a date. The girl is recording him, right? And she's like... What she said? I don't think we're going to have a second date or something like that.
Yeah, he went
off.
Like...
He probably didn't pay for the meal either. Probably made her pay.
I don't know, but he was
Here
like... Right there. Look. Wait.
Oh my god. Yo.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, nigga, what is wrong with you? This is exactly why we're not dating right here.
I think she did the right thing. She communicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
me?
probably
Like-
not at the right time.
Nah, I don't think that there's anything
There's
you
no,
could...
I don't think the time.
She did that
I think
gracefully.
his reaction is immature.
He
Absolutely.
acts
And there's
like
a lot of
a teenager.
There's a lot of dudes like that.
Tears.
There's a lot of dudes like that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to show that so the audience
sure.
can
Yeah.
see too, because that's just wild. But that's what I'm saying. I have, like, there's been a point, like I was telling you, I've gotten an ultimatum. It's like, oh, I'm feeling you, so you either want to abuse me, but I can't just be friends with you. And then you feel bad because you're like, damn, well, I really want this friendship, but I don't want anything more. But then if I say that, now I'm fucked.
You know
now
what?
I just lost
I'm
somebody.
curious. So, damn. Okay, I respect that though.
You get what I'm saying?
Because some girls will take the choice to date the person even though they don't really want to.
I think that if you got to throw out an ultimatum like that,
Yes, it is.
I don't think you should do it. You should even want it at that point, right? If I got to tell you, like, yo, it's this or nothing,
Right.
Like, I'm kind of like strong arming you into a relationship in the first
some-
place.
Right, but
I
I've
have
made
female
it very
friend-
clear too.
I have
It's just
female
like,
friends who've
listen,
been in that
I'm
situation.
healing
Really?
and but we're hanging out, we're chilling every single day. And then even my one friend was like, you got to be careful with those guys. You hang out with them every day, and sometimes they'll get attached. Even though us women will try to be transparent as fuck, and then they still get in their feelings, and it's like all or nothing. And I was like, the fuck, like.
Well, yeah.
And what do you do?
No, I think what you did is right.
Yeah.
With that, you got to cut it off because it's not even healthy.
No, not at all.
It shouldn't be a.
And then those abandonment
ultimatum.
wounds and triggers come out too, because it's like, oh, if you're already thinking of like, oh, we can't be together, then we can't even be friends. All right, so bye.
That's it.
Like,
Rough.
And call it a day. You know what I mean?
and And that goes to show it's even hard for single people to have girl and guy friends.
I don't necessarily. I mean, this is coming from me. I have tons of female friends, but it's like.
But if you're in a relationship, would you cut all them off, or would you?
I would have to be aware of how my partner felt about them. Like most of my life in general blends business with friendship anyway.
Yeah.
Like
your life ain't normal. So
my life is not normal, right?
You can't use you as an example.
Yeah, it's hard to use me as an example. But so my interactions with my friends is oftentimes involved around business anyway. Now, when it's fully personal, I will say there's some of my female friends who will just be around like that, but they're like childhood female friends.
Does that really matter though at the end of the day?
Because
you were saying you don't believe in that.
It
right?
all depends on how my girl feels about it though. Because I might not think it's crazy, but if it now becomes a thing where we might have to all chill in groups or
see,
cut
I'm
that
on
down,
there we go.
like to make her feel better.
If it's not one-on-one,
right.
but group setting is respectful.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
Not just that, but even speaking for myself, my female friends have my girl's contact info.
There you go.
They could talk to her even when I'm not around. So it's a thing to where it's transparent. If I'm on the phone with them, my girl could be next to me. She could take the phone. It's transparent. I introduce her to them. There's no like relationship that I'm trying to keep secret. Nah, like this is my girl. I'm with her. So y'all gotta adapt to what we got going on. It's certain girls when I lived in Oregon, so time difference. They would call me here at like midnight, 1 a.m. You gotta be mindful of that now.
Yeah, you gotta be aware.
You know what I mean? When I was single, call me whenever.
I'm
now I'm in a relationship. I gotta consider my partner. So you could stay.
Are you okay with her having guy friends though, in that same mentality?
No. I do think intent is
You
different.
had to breathe for that shit.
I think it's a matter of transparency. That's all it is. So, in early stages of the relationship, we had to have those conversations, and I even showed her straight up. All right, cool. You see this? Text him this. See what happens.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh shit.
Turned
that's
out.
smart.
Yeah, like just to show her, like these are not your friends.
Yes.
These are guys who want to smash.
Yeah, they're on the bench.
That.
They're just on the bench waiting.
They want to smash. You just haven't given them a chance. She really genuinely didn't even see it.
Well, that's kind of the problem. Is that
it's a genuine like, and she was like, "Whoa, I didn't know that this person like felt this way."
9 times out of 10, somebody's like somebody, or like you guys said, and then they get friend zoned.
I think that
rarely.
ladies are sometimes naive to it.
Like, sometimes,
and don't get me wrong.
No, we're not.
Part of it is.
No, we're not. We have
you know
some sort of inkling somewhere if a guy's into us at all. Let me keep that a buck with you.
You said it, Nami.
I did say it.
She said it.
I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt.
No, okay, listen.
Ladies,
I'm
you
probably
put y'all on
gonna
blast.
Okay,
That
but let's
wasn't
be.
me.
Hey, let me just be real. Spinning back to that Steve Harvey book, I'm literally gonna write my own book, but the opposite way and give y'all guys game, because it's not that women are being naive. I feel like a part of them, even if it's a little bit, we're not fucking stupid. Women are very smart. We're very strategic, intuitive, all of that extra shit. So we have an inkling. We might play a little dumb. Y'all can call it naive, but you just played yourselves because we already knew it was up. It was just like, you know, I mean, that's just how I feel personally. Yes, I could, if like, let's just say I was with some guy and he did that.
The innocent
and I would be like, fuck, what is he gonna say? And then I'd be like, oh, I'm not saying in your case, but I'm saying most women, most women knew what they're not stupid. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, oh shit, I didn't know that. That's crazy. But at some point, we're smart enough to acknowledge what's going around.
Dumb. You know what's up. Stop playing dumb.
This is why it's so important for people to have that honesty, transparency, and bluntness.
For sure.
Because if not, that's what gets everybody fucked up. And I feel like if people were more honest, there wouldn't be so much cheating and all this extra shit. Like we were talking about before, you know. I'm not trying to get you in trouble with your girls, so let me ask him this.
No, bring it on.
Okay, have you ever had a side bitch?
No.
Well, because
I've been a side dude.
Right, exactly. You've been a side dude.
I've been a
professional side dude.
Like over 10 years ago.
Okay,
12 years ago.
How did you feel about that? Was it
great.
good?
He was
because
fine.
He was being fed?
He was
No,
getting what he
you gotta
needed.
understand. At the time, let me break it down. I was 22. She was 29. So that's already wow, okay, cool. She's older than me. And she had kids. I never had to deal or see the kids.
Yep.
It was just more so when she wants to have fun, I'm around.
He experienced all the good parts.
I experienced all.
You said what?
Even when you had a girl?
No. I was single at the time.
He was single.
Oh, okay.
So he got
you were
older.
just completely
I was single.
the side
I was
guy.
chilling. I was the side guy. She was in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I bet you that made you feel good because you're like, damn, she's not hitting up
boost.
her man. She's calling me right
the
now.
phone, bro. Then go handle you.
Ain't no hand, bro. Yeah, definitely definitely occurred. Yeah. This is where I'm gonna say this to the young guys. Being a side dude
will
bring up the biggest levels of trust issues ever. Like I had to really take time and take it
because you were like, oh, I see what this bitch
you've seen the worst.
So now, okay, let me keep it so real with you, and this is why transparency and honesty is blind. And I'm about to say some shit that's really real, but kind of really fucked up. Like in certain situations, how you were saying your trust was so fucked up because I guarantee you that girl had you, let's say, E-Man, right? Had you under Erica in the phone.
I don't know what she did.
No, she had him under. She had him
so
under.
Many
I
times.
don't know what she did.
She had him under like utilities or settings.
Settings.
And then put the little
DoorDash.
So then you text.
Switch the name so you don't fuck it up,
then the little settings bubble comes up. Little
I
settings
don't know.
picture.
She might not even have saved my number.
Women are really
right now. That's another thing too. Is that like I didn't know how many girls just delete texts.
Yeah.
Like just flat out.
Whole conversation.
Just whole conversations.
Only if we're pissed.
You know what's crazy too?
Well, unless they're hiding
I think
something.
you pointed this out to me. Was it a video or something where Shorty was cheating on Pinterest?
How do you do that?
No, it wasn't Pinterest. It was on Notes.
Oh, Notes. You had the
Notes.
collaborative note on the Notes app.
That's a thing?
Yo, you could collab with somebody on a note and you're texting each other.
Fucking
Yo,
no. Wait,
nasty.
can you teach me that shit?
Nasty
That's
work.
crazy.
Nasty work.
So now you gotta watch out.
You
not
can't
just
trust no
not
fucking
just the
body
text
with
messages,
shit.
but now your notes.
Not only that, they always got those text-free apps and shit
Oh
like
my
that.
God, the fake
that my
numbers.
ex
We
would
was doing,
always be on that shit. Like, what the fuck you got this shit for?
Yeah.
All these extra numbers for what? Cheating. Yeah, I swear to God, they be finding ways like a motherfucker. Like, this is why people got trust issues out here. Because
but no, that's absolutely right.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I mean, I think we've kind of
not in the
normalized
notes.
cheating
I'm gonna
and
have to
stuff like
find
that
that. That's
anyway.
crazy.
So,
Oh, do y'all know the little thing? If you ever go in somebody's phone, I actually learned this on TikTok, right? So if you act like you're trying to like send a text message, right? All you do is hit the period, and then the last person that you talk to, whether or not it's been deleted or not, will show up in there.
See, I don't even need that no more. I'm glad I'm
See,
out
you got
the
a good
game.
one, but that is rare as fuck.
hey man,
Yeah.
I'm not even bothering. I'm not going through nobody's phone. Man.
Really?
Because
you know you're gonna see something there you don't like.
That's what, but that's also why I'm not really in anything that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like where there's
I don't know. My dad always told me trust but verify.
Yeah, trust but verify.
I trust you, but let me just verify.
That fucking
but for
one.
me-
Every goddamn time I went in somebody's phone, bro, it's like you gotta watch. You're looking for something, you're gonna find it, and then you're gonna hurt your own fucking feelings.
Sometimes it's okay to hurt your feelings and have a
But it
conversation
lets you
about
know-
it.
Yeah, no, but then they're like, oh, I don't know who that was. That was my fucking brother.
Just let you know
Like,
where they stand, where you stand.
I mean, at least make sure you find enough evidence. Don't just go off a hunch. Like, find some clear-cut
women
evidence.
can find something. And
Yeah.
like my one friend Alex, shout out to her. I could give her somebody's name, and she'll find every
man, you got
fucking
one
thing
of
out
those-
in
those
5
CSI
fucking minutes.
friends.
5 fucking minutes. She'll go on case search, find out their fucking everything.
Yeah.
Be careful, fellas.
You got y'all. I mean,
Just be honest. Don't be careful. Be honest.
Yeah, okay, that's better. Be
I promise
honest.
you. Like, and this is if you're transparent with a girl, if she's genuine.
and guy.
I'm speaking from my perspective, right? If you're transparent with a girl, if she's a good, genuine girl, she gonna hold it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
sometimes
whole like,
that
oh, you can't have
doesn't
my phone. You
matter.
can't. No, yeah. If the person's not genuine, then you screwed. You
Then
screwed.
they just because I personally I've done everything. I've been with somebody who did not work, who did nothing. I was the breadwinner trying to take care of them.
Well, I always hear these
clothes,
stories,
food,
man.
Weed, everything I gave
Who are
him,
these
and
niggas,
he
man?
still cheated.
Why
So
were you with him?
why? Because my stupid ass loved him.
What did you love about him?
I liked that he had a very caring side to him, but just as the caring side he had was a very darker side on the other side of that. And I always look at people for their potential because everybody can.
That's where you went wrong right there. Never look at somebody for the potential. Look at what they're actually doing. Now, when I say that, you could be at rock bottom, but what are you doing today? Not what you want to do. What are you doing today? What steps are you taking today? I don't want to see, I'm hoping maybe. No, what are you doing today?
Yeah, because I'd be like, oh, let's do this. We can get an LLC. Like, start your own business. And at the end of the day, I could be the best woman I could, but I've also realized you can be the best woman, the best man. And at the end of the day, if people are so unhealed in themselves, they're not even going to be able to acknowledge.
They can't receive it.
This is the 3 things that I always tell my clients too. When it comes to self-love, you have to have the self-awareness first. If you do not have the self-awareness, you can't get to the next step, which is that self-discipline part. And a lot of us get stuck between that self-awareness and that self-discipline part. But once you've acknowledged within yourself, take a step back, okay, everybody's fucking toxic. Anybody who says they're not or don't have certain qualities that they need to fix, they're wrong. They need to do a little bit more healing. But after you can acknowledge, you can be self-aware to try to make that change. And after the self-discipline, then comes the full self-love. In my opinion of things. But I feel like a lot of men genuinely or generally don't really talk about those healings or childhood traumas or wounds. So they just go to the next girl and the next girl and the next girl. And you know what I mean? And that's just who they are. But I don't even think they know who they are at the end of the day.
I agree. I think there's not a lot of safe space for men to do that type of healing. That's the thing. So for me personally, I try to have these conversations with my guy friends. The more I learn, the more I try to share, the more I try to communicate, just so that the guys around me know that they can talk to me about whatever it is. Like I approach it from a non-judgmental perspective.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I know what it's like to feel like you can't really talk to anybody about your feelings. And
especially men too, because I feel like with the stigma, and I'm biracial, so my dad, he, a lot of, they suppress that shit. It's like, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. You can't do this. You got to hold it down. You got to have the strength. You can't.
We're taught that from the age of 3. You cry. It's like, don't be a girl. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll give you something to fucking cry about.
So what do we? That's how we grow up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Until you get to a point where either you crash out or you decide to do better.
But I feel like a lot of people don't have that safe space to even be like I said, I've had guy friends before where I thought no one had feelings, and then they're crying to me, and I'm like, oh, holy shit. Because I feel like a lot of men don't have a safe outlet to be able, because a lot of the times, like I was saying to somebody, they were talking to me, they're like, oh, I can't talk to my girl about this because she's gonna say I'm a fucking bitch. So then they have to shut down. They have to keep that shit in. Well, and nothing really gets solved.
I think even when you have relationships, one of the biggest things I came upon recently is that people will listen to you through a lens, right? People say it's like a familiarity bias. If you know me, you're friends with me, and I make a point, you may feel like you can beat me to my point. You may feel like you already know where I'm going with it, and therefore you don't really taking into account what I'm saying. You're just kind of assuming, okay, we'll get to the end of that and we understand what's happening. And I think a lot of times when men are in relationships with women and they say what they're feeling, a lot of women look at it through this lens of, oh, that's just a reflection of like ego, right? They're just your ego's hurt right now.
That's your emotions.
But unfortunately, we're in a place where if you say things like ego, it gives it almost a pass to dismiss it. We don't recognize that ego is based in a lot of everybody's behavior, right?
But that's that duality of the dark and light too.
That's true, but like, so you have, ladies may feel like men are based in ego and it's not really a female problem, but that's because their ego is oftentimes validated through general behavior, right? You can go on Instagram, do a thirst trap. Do a thirst trap. Suddenly you got all of these likes, all of these comments, all validating DMs, your ego, right?
So why don't y'all men do thirst traps?
Some do, but sometimes it's also like kind of a seen as a feminine thing too. Or our thirst traps are different. Thirst trap might be, I'm taking a picture in front of my car.
Wad of money on the table. Me in the club.
Somebody told me my thirst traps is like me cooking. I'm cooking a food and throw up like the cooking video.
That's a very selective thirst trap.
It's a selective thirst trap.
That's only for a certain group of women.
Hey man, I know who my demo
is.
Yeah. But the fact
your algorithm of females
know my
paying attention to
I know
you.
my algorithm. I see that.
Right.
But that's the thing though, is that you search for things that validate your ego. And yes, it's necessary in a relationship. Same way you want flowers from a dude. You want compliments, you want quality time. That's prioritization, right? That's him looking at you saying, you're important to me over all of these things. So it's you, and then everything else is over there. That's ego. You need that validation. So when men are asking...
That's probably why men cheat, because they need that attention.
Absolutely. Most of the time, they're going for those...
That's not probably. That's 90% of the time is... You're missing that at home because your girl takes you for granted. Your girl no longer makes you feel like you're that guy. and then you meet that one girl that might not even be as pretty as your girl, but she knows how to stroke your ego, and you're like, ooh, this feels nice. But, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's that attention, but it's of the ego too. But again, like I was telling people too, I feel like a lot of it is like how I split myself and like my alter ego Sunny and then myself. But I feel like it's all part of the duality of your dark and your light. And a part of that darkness does come that jealousy, that ego, the insecurities of certain things that, you know, people can claim they don't have it. But I feel like you said, you go somewhere else for that because you're not getting it. But do they really love that person if they're going to somebody else, even if they're not receiving it from their partner?
I think it's absolutely still love for the other person.
How
can you love somebody if you're cheating on them?
Because
though?
I think
love for like their partner or love for the side person?
I think there's love for their partner.
Love for their partner. If you're able to
I'm not gonna lie.
lay up with your wife or fiance or whatever, right? But you're seeking outside of that relationship. You're justifying it because they're not giving me what I need, so I'm gonna go get it from somebody else who is validating that. Hold up real quick.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, there's a difference between loving somebody with their own conditions or loving somebody unconditionally. Okay. You feel me?
Unconditional love in dating is a myth.
No, it's not.
No,
I have loved unconditionally.
There are conditions.
No, there's conditions.
But it's okay to have conditions. It's okay. And I think that's where people go wrong.
Yes.
No, but I'm talking about unconditional.
Nah, it's conditions.
It's not real.
What's the definition? What's the definition of a condition?
Are you ready? Wait, hold up. First of all, conditions like. Okay, I'm a mother. I'm a single mother. My love for my son, he was the one who taught me unconditional fucking love.
Yes. No. Parents love to a child is unconditional.
That's unconditional.
Not romantic.
Yes, because I would love unconditionally, and that's why I tolerate too much shit and I stay in fucked up
you don't though, because he had to hit criteria first. You may have eased your conditions.
Because he met certain criteria.
Because he met a certain criteria. But those criteria are still in play. Because if they weren't, you'd leave.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't love them unconditionally.
Are you single now?
Yeah.
See?
Okay then. So look, all I'm saying is it's fair to have conditions.
If your child, is it a son or a boy or girl?
Boy, PJ.
If he murdered somebody, you still love him.
You still love him?
Yes.
That's unconditional.
Yeah.
But for
no matter what he did, I would always love him no matter what.
I don't think that's possible in romantic relationships.
No.
I would literally kill for my person. I would do anything for my person that I was in love with.
That means you love them a lot.
That means you love them a lot.
But that doesn't mean it's unconditional.
Like if I was dating
somebody
could do
something,
and there was a bullet, I would take a bullet for them because I love them.
But people got to stop confusing that because all conditional means is that there's something that can be done. Yeah, but there are limits. Not limits in what you would do, limits of what they would get away with.
Outside of cheating, I guess.
Then that's conditional.
That's conditional.
Oh shit! Fuck me in the ass. Okay,
that's conditional. Yeah. Look, all I'm saying is that.
Damn, check me because I've been saying the whole time I feel like I love the nigga unconditionally.
A lot of people do that. I'm just saying that when it comes to the relationships in general, everybody wants to have a level of standards, and that's okay. It's just that you kind of decide what's you can't live without, and then you go with that with your partner. Now, I will say that it's possible to cheat and still love your person. I do think that you're definitely risking the love of that person because you're stepping over their conditions. But so there's an 80-20 rule. You ever heard of the 80-20? Mm-hmm. Right? Problem with the 80-20 is that most people are unwilling to even compromise on the 20. A lot of people will say that whoever cheated to go get that 20 was a bad person and that they should have just, first thing they say, well, didn't you just talk to them? Do you guys think that these people in long-term relationships didn't have a conversation with their partner about whatever was missing?
It depends upon the person.
Right. Okay, so then you have the problem with communication, the disconnect, right? So if a guy is like, yeah, babe, I just don't think you really respect me. You never really make me feel like the king of the castle. You never really make me feel like this. Boy, I'm not here to stroke your ego.
Has somebody said that to you before?
No, but I'm just saying when
it happens.
It happens, right?
Happened to you?
It's just, I have a lot of female friends who talk about how it's not really their thing, like the whole submission conversation. Like the following along, the being cooperative, it's not their job to be this person's.
Our mutual friend says that all the time.
Mutual friend says that all the time. So,
She's like, it's not my job to stroke your ego.
Yes.
I'm like, yo,
you
got to learn that it is, though. It absolutely is.
But I think people need to realize that men and women are different, right? So what most women seek is not going to be the same as what most men seek in a relationship.
No, I think that they seek the same things. I think that
in different ways.
Yes, and then I think that women don't characterize men in the way that they seek it as being the same thing. I had a relationship once, right? One time, I'm playing. I had a relationship once, and in the relationship, she needed security and reassurance, right? That was the main thing. She needed security and reassurance, and I told her that the way that she wants me to do that, to provide that to her, makes me risk my security at this point in time. I need to reach a certain point, certain accomplishments, certain things that I needed to do before I could do that, right? And it wasn't until a couple weeks ago we touched base again. We had a conversation about what happened, how it ended or whatever. And I pointed out to her, is like, I don't think you understood the level of security that I didn't have in that moment. As you were seeking security, I did everything else that I was trying to do to show you it, but you still needed you needed it this way to
what
get
was
that.
the way? Like, just so that for the people who might be going through it.
All right,
Literally.
so
yeah.
She wanted a full-blown relationship at the time.
Okay.
That's okay, but she also had a child, right? So to me, I'm like, I was between jobs at the time. I was in no place to barely, take care of my things. So in my mind, if I'm taking that on, then I'm taking you and your child on. Not necessarily to be your everything.
See, that's a good guy right there. Because most dudes won't do that. Most dudes will get in a relationship and drag the girl through a situation, give her a fake hope that they can take care of things when they can't. So you telling her, hey, I can't, I'm not in a position to, you have a kid, and I'm not in a position to take care of you and the kid. Let me back away. I respect that.
So,
Literally,
and then mind you, though,
because they do give you false hope, and that's where that potential comes in.
Yes, that's literally there.
Right. So now, as for most guys, financial security is massive. It affects our self-esteem. It affects everything. So my thing was, I need to just get to this point, and then we can do that. And until that point, I know me giving you what you want I lose all my security. Like I don't feel like this at all. And it wasn't until I put it in terms that she could understand, that she could receive, that she was even like, oh, damn.
You actually did me a solid type of thing.
Or it just, even that she could comprehend, because to her mind, in her mind, she's like, it just didn't make sense. If we're doing all the things, we're spending all the time, we're doing whatever, you don't have this going on for you, like I didn't have any other girls at the time or whatever.
But at least you were transparent about all of that.
Were you actually, because you could communicate that in a way that doesn't make sense to her. If you're not like direct and breaking down what the actual issue is, she might be confused as to, okay, why isn't it
right? No, and that's what she said.
I would have been like, it's
that's
okay,
exactly what she said.
You, don't worry about it.
And she's trying to create solutions. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that because this is what it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, I try to just put it together in a way that she can understand it, because I do feel like communication in a lot of those instances is where the weakness is. Not just in, you already have men who can't verbalize what they're feeling.
Emotional intelligence.
And then you have a group of people who feel like they're more emotionally intelligent, trying to play translator, but translating it into their own perspective of what men are versus what he's actually saying.
See, and this is why I like conversations like this, to open up people's minds. I know we do kind of have to wrap this up a little bit, but we should do a part 2.
No, for sure.
For sure. And maybe we can get some of you guys in the comments. Follow the follow the socials. Do you want to give your socials to everybody? We'll make sure we put it down here.
Yes, it's Real and Uncomfortable. My personal one is mixed by Eman Musik, but follow Real and Uncomfortable. That's the podcast page.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys so much for being here.
Sure.
Of course.
Great convo.
Music, we here. Definitely follow, Talk To Me Pod right here, right? That's what you got, Cassandra. And check us out too at Real and Uncomfortable.
Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned for part 2. Leave it in the comments if you guys have any questions for us.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
See you next time.
Out.
Bullshit, I think this is old. I think that's why.
Yeah.